That was, there was no question of going back to economics, though I have never been sorry that I had the background in economics, because it gave me a willingness to tackle economic subjects in history without being, you know, scared off by the subject. And so it's, I feel that I have had a very good life. In the meantime, through the 1960s and 70s, I was still very much absorbed in being a homemaker and working full time, and being a career woman at the same time. And so my movement activity was limited. I always was in touch with the people. I got to know most of the leading Quakers in this area. I got to know Rosalie Wall, whom we're mourning now just this week. She died last week. It was later on, it was really not until my retirement that I became involved in politics at all. But that was, I became interested as I was facing retirement. I became interested in the Green Movement. And I was very, one of the things, again, that goes back to my family background was the deep passion for the natural world and the beauty of it and the preservation of it. I can remember as a little child driving in our Model A through the mountains of the state of Washington, and the fury that my dad expressed when seeing the mountainsides being stripped of the rainforests, which of course would never regrow because the soil was washed away immediately. And the whole environmental movement came naturally to me as a result of family attitudes toward nature and the need to preserve love of animals, wild as well as pets. And so it does go back to my family background, but the implementation of that, becoming a community leader, had a lot to do with my marriage into a family that expected that and accepted it. And also my career is at the Historical Society. I was one of those who became very interested in how we presented Native American history, Dakota and Ojibwe. I was worked on the first research unit for schools that we did regarding the Ojibwe Indians, and worked with an all-Indian committee on that. And that was an eye-opening experience for me. I had no contact with that before, and that became very much a part of my career in history, where I have, I guess, my main interests and publication have been women's history and Native American and fur trade history. I did the biography of Henry Sibley because he was a fur trader, and his contact with the Indians, not because he was the first governor of the state. You know, when people ask, who was Henry Sibley? And I say, well, I mean, you can identify him as the first governor of Minnesota, big yawn. He was so much more interesting than that. He was to my mind, a very tragic figure. Like Chief Little Crow, he was reluctantly caught in a war that he didn't agree with and didn't believe in, but had to proceed with.